Hi guys, it's Sarah from Just Cards by Sarah. Today I want to share a technique with you for MB Treasurista, and basically it's just a quick technique. And if you know my channel, Just Cards by Sarah, I do tips, techniques, start to finishes and tutorials. So today my tutorial is, as we all start to get into mixed media, and as you guys know, I am in love with mixed media, and I do love to get messy. And with mixed media, you really have to know that you are going to get messy. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. But today I wanted to share a technique on colouring your texture paste. I get asked a lot how to do this, and mixtures and what you can add and things like that. And basically I'm just going to answer some questions that I've had. There is on the market I'll just start with these, and these are by Shimmers, and Shimmers is a great company that does mists, they do embossing powders, they do all sorts. They also have these textures and dazzlers. Textures, the dazzlers is more like a thick consistency. As you can see, it's not running out. It's creamy, it's blingy as you guys can see there. It's thick, it's kind of like frosting. That's the only way to describe it. Okay, and it does come in a numerous colours. So then you've got your coloured texture paste. And I do know I think it's Art Anthology does coloured texture paste also, and so does 13 Arts. So this one is called Textures, and this is in the patina colour. This is the Tutti Frutti, but this one is Textures is a different consistency. Again, you're both going to get the texture, but this one is actually thick again, as you can see, not tipping out, and it's actually again pretty thick. But this one, it's gritty, so it's got a real grit. I don't know if you're gonna hear. As I scrape it on the paper, that real gritty texture, where this one, you don't get that grit. It just smooths on, guides on. Okay. Don't want to waste any. And then what I was going to say was there is the products you can use. So there is a number of things on the market. Okay, so I hand make my texture paste nowadays. So I actually like to use strong colours. So things like Dilutions, which has a strong pigment colour in it, will be fantastic. Re-inkers are fantastic because they do have that strong pigment in them, so that will give you an awesome colour. And I get a lot of people asking me, like, what's the combination of how much colour to how much thing. Unfortunately, I can't really answer that. It's more just trial and error and getting the colour you want. The thing is going to be, you are going to need quite a lot of colour, because the consistency, it is going to be a little bit different to the colour it is. It's going to lighten, because there is, like, in your texture paste, there is a gesso quality to it. And you are going to find it sort of resists the colour a bit, so you will get a lightened variation of, as if you've say this paint and I added white to it, the colour would lighten, and the same thing would happen with any other colour. Okay, so you've got your distress stains, your distress paint you could use, your metallic stains, or you've got your ordinary stains. Oops. You've got your Lindy Stamp Gang, fantastic for colouring. You could just spray it on your mat and add your texture paste to it. There is just inks, normal inks. You've got the Prima inks, you've got Brilliance inks, you've got Tuxedo inks, you've got every single company, and they're great. And all you need to do is dab it on your mat, and then add your texture paste to it, and you've coloured it. There is alcohol inks, fantastic for colouring. So it's not only for metal, you can colour your texture paste, and it's quite effective. The other technique is using paint. Paint is fantastic for doing this. Again, like I said, it will lighten. It's like adding white paint to your colour. Gelatos is another fantastic one for colouring your texture paste. Again, like I said, you will get like a chalky consistency, and it will lighten a little bit. Pearlx is one of my favourite. The difference between pearlx and perfect pearls is shimmery. Pearlx is shimmery and has a colour pigment in it. So if you just want shimmer, you could go for your perfect pearls. But if you want colour, so say I want this rich copper colour, I add that, and you won't need much of it, and it will colour. You can use embossing powders, and I know this sounds really weird, but you actually can. It doesn't take a strong colour, but it does give it a variation of colour, and I find it gives a variation, like it won't just give you one colour, it'll kind of give you a variation of a look of colour. Okay, these are absolutely fantastic. These are two things on the market by Luminaire. One called Primary Elements, and what it is it's colour pigments. So this one is called colour pigment, and this one is called Primary Elements. So it's just basically full colour pigment with, so it's basically like pearlx, but these are super intense colours. They're absolute gorgeous. You can make sprays out of them, you can make paints out of them, you can do heats out of them, and I use them all the time, or you can just keep them and brush it on your chipboard if you wanted to. Absolute gorgeous. The only thing I must recommend is you have to seal them with hairspray, because they will rub off on your hands. The other thing I wanted to show you was magicals. Magicals are great for colouring your texture paste, and it does give you an intense colour. Another idea would be Inca Gold. I know this might sound a bit strange, but Inca Gold actually does colour if you mix it with. So go for a colour that you want and mix it, and it does give you a variation of colour. There is another technique that you could use is liquid pearls. I actually was one of the fans of liquid pearls when they first came out, and I bought quite a lot of them, and they came out with a new range, and then I went and bought all of them thinking, well, this is great, I can just put my pearls at the colour I want. Well, unfortunately, I found that they give a variation look, and I couldn't get every pearl looking the same little dome. And I didn't like that, because I like things to sort of match. So in the end, what I decided, it doesn't really get used. So I like doing this technique with it. And I'll just quickly show you. All you have to do is put a little bit of colour on your mat and a little bit of texture paste. And you can do any of this. You don't have to just mix it with, you don't only have to mix it with your texture paste. You could create anything you want. You could create, so then I'm just going to swipe that off. Okay. And then I would just, I've got my coloured texture paste. Okay, and you've got an intense colour. You can go stronger or lighter. As I said, you don't have to do much. Or there is also the technique of using gel medium. I like to use gel medium for when you want flatter text. You still want texture, but you want it to be flatter, and you want a glossier look. So this will give a more intense look. And if you're wanting, a lot of the times when you're mixing gesso with your colour pigments, you are going to find that you're going to lose the shimmer. If you want to continue having the shimmer, go for something like matte medium or gloss medium. This is gloss, so it'll give an even intense colour. So I will show you. So I'm going to go for the Primary Elements this time. the polished pigments this time. So you are going to need the littlest amount. And just mix. I don't want a real strong, intense colour for this tutorial. I just wanted to show you that you will get a light colour just by doing that. And look at that intense colour. I'm hoping that's picking it up. Okay, hang on, I'll wipe it up. So here is my sheet. Isn't that a cool colour? But see how it has lightened a bit with the stuff? So what you're going to have to find is, and it's still got that bling texture to it. Another way you can do it is you could add alcohol inks. So I'm just going to put some alcohol inks on my desk. And this is in Shell Pink. I am now just going to grab the littlest amount of texture paste. And you can make these tubs ahead of time and have them ready to go for your next project. So you could go in and colour. And I didn't want a strong colour, but you could go darker. So I could say, oh no, I don't like that pink, it's still too light. I'm going to add a darker shade. So I just intensify my colour by adding more. And swipe. And I'm starting to get a darker shade. Another great technique is using gelatos. Gelatos is a quick and simple way of doing this technique. So all you're going to need to do is swipe off some gelato. And believe me, you are not going to need much. And a bit of texture paste. And colour. You have a coloured texture paste. So this is my technique today. Be sure to check out your stash and try some of these techniques. Let me know if you ever try them out. I would love to see it. And be sure to check out MB Treasurista and check out my channel, Just Cards by Sarah, on Facebook and YouTube. And be sure to use the coupons below and the links I'll leave all below. Talk to you later. Bye.